Okay, good morning and welcome to Iyun to lean on. Today we're doing Simon Samach Zion, number 67. Uh, a suffix if you said Kriya Shema or not. There's two parts to this halacha. One is you're not so sure if you said Kriya Shema, um, so you go ahead and repeat Kriya Shema. And you even say the brachos. It's mashma that you made the brachos even if you knew you'd say the brachos. You said the brachos, you're not sure you said Kriya Shema. Since you're saying Kriya Shema again, you make the brachos again. However, if you know you said Kriya Shema, the Shulchan Aruch says, but you're not sure if you say the brachos, you don't go back and make the brachos. Because we mentioned brachos Kriya Shema is only Rabbanan, Kriya Shema is Del So the question is though, even though Kriya Shema is Del if you're not sure if you said Kriya Shema, why say the brachos again, right? Maybe, even when we're talking about you're not sure if you said the brachos, Kriya Shema by itself, and the brachos by itself, Kriya Shema is Del It's something like Shalachom, or brachos are Rabbanan, something around the Kula, why are you saying the brachos again? So in order to understand this better, we have to draw on what we said in the last year, in the last year, about Simon Sam Vav, where I mentioned that there's two parts to Birchas Kriya Shema. There's two ideas behind Birchas Kriya Shema. One is really Avarava, which is the mitzvah of Kriya Shema, is the mitzvah of Torah Shebechtav that you're supposed to say Kovei Eitim in the morning and night. So you say Birchas HaTorah, Avarava is a Birchas HaTorah before that. And then there's the idea of Kriya Shema not being Mr. Torah Shebechtav, but the Evid being Om Malchus Shamayim. That's also hinted to, and it's part of a greater process of Somech Geulah Tefillah, where we start off Birchas Kriya Shema by acknowledging the might of Hashem, right, Yotzer Or, and then we say we make the bracha on the Torah. We're saying that we need the Torah, and the Torah Kabbalah Zal Malchus Shamayim. Kriya Shema is All Malchus Shamayim. We're saying that we're slaves, and we need the Torah to free us. And Gal Yisrael, if we use the Torah properly, then we'll have Geulah. And then we Somech Geulah Tefillah. You put Geulah next to the Tefillah. You're not supposed to wait between them, in order to ensure that when you daven, you should have the right feelings that there's potential for me to be free, or I'm free now, at least while I'm davening. Because the purpose of davening is to give the right kavanah, to direct you in the right direction, where you want to go in life. To think about the positives of your cheshbon nefesh. What do you want to draw? What strengths you have? What talents you have? Where do you want to go in life? How do you strategize going forth in life and bringing out the best in yourself and the world? So that's the whole point of Birchas Kriya Shema, really like a seder of saying it together. So the halacha over here is if you're not supposed to say Kriya Shema, somebody writes you go again and say it. Birchas Kriya Shema is their Rabbanan, so why are you saying it again? So I think you have to say there's something else at play over here, and I think I'm going to talk about this more when we come to Hilchos Tefillah. But there's so much Geulah Tefillah is really talked about extensively in the Gemara. Some things in the Shulchan Aruch are barely mentioned in the Gemara, if at all. Some of Geulah Tefillah, the Gemara talks about a lot, the importance of it. One of the Amoraim was smiled every day when he saw Geulah Tefillah. It was a very important inyan. Maybe the idea of some Geulah Tefillah is Din D'Oraisa. This is what I'm going to say, suggest over here. The whole Seder, the whole order, starting from Yotzer Or, in order of following through the Birchas Kriya Shema, through the Avarabba and Kriya Shema and Baruch Gal Yisrael, is in order, it's a purpose of the Hatchala of Somech Geulah Tefillah, right? To recognize that we're born into slavery, we're born into original sin, we're born into slavery, and we have to get out, like Shari Tshuva says, we have to take that route out and escape jail, and Torah is the way that liberates us, and to recognize that there is Geulah, there will be a Geulah from Mitzrayim, from the bondage that we're in, and Tefillah, once we have that freedom, then we're able to focus on what we want to use our strengths for, what we like in the world, how we can use our strengths, how we can enjoy the world. So that idea, some of Geulah Tefillah, is maybe Din D'Oraisa. Besides the mitzvah of Kriya Shema and D'Oraisa, the brachos are also D'Oraisa. However, the end of the halacha is if you know that you say Kriya Shema, not sort of the brachos, so then you wouldn't chozer muvar, you wouldn't go back and make the brachas. Seems to be a problem with this because, as I mentioned before, even when you go back and say the brachos, you would say Kriya Shema again. So why don't you do Somech Geulah Tefillah over here? So the idea is that maybe that din of the rice of Somech Geulah Tefillah, that you have to do Somech Geulah Tefillah, as we mentioned, Tefillah is supposed to be a positive experience, and it's supposed to be maybe above this world experience where we really are in bondage. And I mean, we hope to one day be free, but we're not actually free. So if you do everything the right way, maybe that's the idea. If you're doing everything the right way, right? So, and you're saying Kriya Shema, because you're supposed to say Kriya Shema, or you got a suffix whether you said Kriya Shema. So you're mechuyev to say it. If you're doing things l'chadchila, when I'm doing things l'chadchila, So then there's any mitzvah daraisa of someone who will tefillah. Maybe the mitzvah daraisa of someone who will tefillah only applies to chachila when it's b'diavad already, right? Because now I said Kriya Shema, so the whole purpose of Kriya Shema now is a b'diavad Kriya Shema. It's only Kabbalah's al Malchus Shamayim, as I mentioned before. So therefore, it's only a b'diavad Kriya Shema. The whole Seder you're doing is b'diavad. So therefore, maybe someone who will tefillah only applies to chachila and not b'diavad. Therefore, you wouldn't make the brachas anymore because it's not called someone who will tefillah. Someone who will tefillah is a mitzvah l'chachila. But b'diavad, you lost your chance. If you lost your chance, you didn't get out of slavery, so your tefillah is not going to help you over there. It's worthless. We'll talk more about this in Hilchos Tefillah and Hilchos Kriya Shema coming up. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you on the next one.